So Operation Black Love was a failure.
Who did you have more chemistry with, do you say?
I don't think we're gonna be friends, right? But
Not
like,
even friends either?
That's crazy.
You joking? No, I'm dead serious. Come on the show, find love.
Operation Black Love was a failure. Nobody went on a second date. Nobody's getting married. Nobody's in a relationship. And doggone Chinamaram talking about he don't even want to date black girls exclusively after this experience. What the heck? Honestly, I learned a lot. I learned a lot.
So, Chinamaram,
what's popping?
how are you feeling after these blind dates?
I feel pretty good. Like, they were nice girls. It was good for the experience. It's always good to
Good for
get
the
yourself
plot?
out there. Yeah, good for the plot. Yeah, you never know, right? You never know what can happen in this world. So it was fun.
Is this whole process reflective of your experience dating as an adult or in Minnesota?
Whoa. I guess so, but this one was actually like better than my other dates that I've gone on, which is
Really?
yeah. Because like it's interesting because especially that I wasn't even as intrigued by his pre-clip.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it went way better than I expected. I was like, oh, I forget that there's guys that are like actually nice and they have substance. It was kind of a breath of fresh air meeting him, and I know it can be more dependent on the person you go on a date with, but I would say it was generally reflective, but even a little better.
Okay, honestly, who did you like? Who did you like better?
Who did I like better?
Yeah. Oh, who did you have more chemistry with, do you say?
I was like, my first reaction was like, these two are perfect together. Like the other girl, is it Shirley?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, they seem like they were each other. It seemed like they would have been a better match than him and I. They seemed like they got along so well, given like the videos. I mean, they just given like the chemistry. I think we were aligned, but given like their chemistry, they did their video together. They were very chatty, very flirty.
Like, they were both fine. They were both fine. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, one of them was like, I need to run this back super hard. But no, they were both great girls. Like,
The thing is, like, everybody had such positive feelings. I feel like fresh off a date is like everything feels fine, and then after you have time to reflect, you kind of maybe have different feelings. So what ended up happening with Kiki, like after the date, she was like, both of y'all were like, second date, we're gonna do sauna, blah blah blah. Like, whatever happened to it?
We were talking about it. We tried setting up a day to do it, and then we had like just timing conflicts, and then yeah, last minute I was trying to make it work, but our schedules just did not align, and then neither one of us set up another one. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm open to still like hanging out with him or like going to that sauna date, but he never like followed up. And in my mind, I think the guy should. So I'm like, if he's actually interested, then he would follow up with me. So yeah.
I didn't even tell you this, but during the date, in the middle of it, she was just like, when I first saw you, you're not my type, but like our conversation and your personality made up for it. And I was like,
how did that make you feel?
I mean, I have pretty thick skin, but it's like, damn, I'm not that ugly though.
You're not ugly.
So I was like, damn.
He made a joke. He was like, yeah, she called me ugly. She was like, I didn't call you
heard that
ugly.
in the video. That's crazy. I was him. I don't know if I would have got out with her a second time. You don't like it. It was giving you don't like me.
I know she didn't call me ugly. I'm not her type, but it's like, what's your
isn't that what most relationships are? Like, you don't always find somebody that's your physical type, but to your point, it's about the person's personality and their character.
Yeah, but it's still like, it still was a weird feeling, just like it's like being like the fat girl, like, it's like, oh man, you're not my type, but like you got a great personality.
Well, I still might go on a second date with him. I mean, I don't know, like I know I rubbed him the wrong way because I was like, I told him that I wasn't initially attracted to him, and he like liked the honesty, but he was like, well, then maybe we shouldn't continue. But I was like, yeah, but it's not everything to me either. So I'm like, I really like your vibe, so I'm open to getting to know you further. So I was like, maybe I need to be more like, hey, let's go on a second date.
So did y'all try to go on a second date?
Yeah, like I was just like, these are when I'm free. We can do it at that time. And I don't know, like I thought it was kind of weird because she was like, I want to see the place before we go to the place. And I was like, why would we need to see the place before we go to the place? Doesn't make sense.
And so what happened after that?
I was just like, I'm not doing that. Like, either we're gonna go to their place.
Oh,
or
Lord Jesus.
I'm like, why? It's like, it would be like, okay, so I'm gonna take you to the restaurant. We look through the window, but we're not gonna go in, and then we go about our day and then come back a different time. And that I was like,
Well, T, they didn't go on a second date at all either.
Are you joking?
No, I'm dead serious. Tell us why.
No, so we had a good first date, but the more we started texting, we got into a conversation about faith. And I am a pretty strong Christian. I go to church every week. I do Bible study on my own every morning, listen to the Bible like frequently. You could probably describe me as somewhat of a Bible thumper, but I love the Lord. I love Jesus.
Yeah.
And Christ are like this. That's my best friend. And I believe we're all on our own journeys, but I want my partner to be very aligned with, those beliefs and at least in the same playing field of how they are working towards their faith. And he just is not in the same, area as I am in regards to faith. He's definitely a Christian. He professes Christ as his Lord and Savior.
I was actually completely okay with that when she told me that she didn't want to go on a second date. Once we started texting and, we started talking about different things, and, she goes to church multiple times a week, and like, shit, like I maybe will go once a month, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, that's a lifestyle. That's a lifestyle difference, right?
Is it a lifestyle difference? Maybe if you were Muslim, maybe if you were Buddhist, your dad's literally a deacon at the church. So I feel like it's not totally far off. I feel like there could have been a scenario in which lifestyles could merge.
He did say he doesn't practice at all. Doesn't go to church, doesn't read the Bible, is a lot more far removed than I think I would want a partner.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, okay. That was the big determinant for me. And I think after I explained what I do and I said we're not a good fit, not that I'm expecting him to tussle for me or anything. Right. He was like, yeah, makes sense now. Let's just call it.
If somebody is that deep in their faith, I think they usually would need somebody that deep in their faith. Like, think about it. It's like, if you want to go to church and I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. Like, I don't really want to go. It's like, it's not really my thing. Like, you could feel like, oh man, like he doesn't, like what's important to me is not important to them, Yeah. So I was just like, yeah, it's fair. So I have to say 70% of dating is bad because of women. That's what I have to say. Like, I don't feel like they're as open, to be honest, as men can be. Not to bring up like the Pop the Balloon show. I think purposely they pick bad women for that show just to make black women look bad.
And bad men too.
But like most of the time, it'd be like the weirdest reason, like his pants were too short, even though the man can go change pants the next day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Agree.
It's kind of like weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person who's nitpicking, like, oh, they said this tiny thing, they were nervous, blah, 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 like just cutting people off at the smallest instance. So trying to be a little more open-minded about just things in general, but that I'm in a new dating space of being very open to, personalities, as well as like being attracted to other types of people now too, versus just my like cookie cutter box of, because what's worked in the past hasn't gotten me a
things that are like actually changeable within like 5 to 10 minutes but it's like you're gonna choose that over the character of the human being. It's kind of, I find that weird, but
I think that's weird too.
Yeah, but overall, I think it was a really good experience. I got to meet two really cool individuals, right? Just because it didn't work out romantically, I don't think we're gonna be friends, right? But
Not
like,
even friends either?
no, we're not gonna hang out.
What do you think about 2025? What is Shirley's love look like in 20? I saw your Instagram post earlier.
Yeah, girl.
Shirley said, "I'm getting married in 2025, babe."
For 2025, I'm not sure. Like, I have a busy 2025.
So it's not totally shot in my brain.
Oh, so there's hope.
A little bit. I feel
A
like
little bit
a
of
little bit. I don't know if there's gonna be a wedding, but
well, I know you mentioned in like when we first had our talk that you were like open to dating now versus in the past. Like you were kind of being single intentionally, and now you're like, okay, I want to explore what else is out there. So if it's not him, like maybe there's room for love in 2025.
True. Yeah. I think that there are more people that would be open to being on the show.
I think 2025, yeah, I'll date intentionally, and if it happens, like God be praised, and if it doesn't, 2026, here we go again. But I don't know, I'm way more focused, I think, on my career this year, and I always say, like, when you're not expecting it, that's when it happens. So
yeah. Now that I know what you want, I'm gonna be on the lookout for you, girl.
yeah, if specifically, you know, if they could be a chocolate bearded businessman, serious about his career, who loves God, who goes to church.
I'm now a little bit more open because it is Minnesota. To be more to open it up to like POC, to be honest. Yeah, like I'll be honest.
It was.
I hope you do more. Like, I'd love to see other people. Don't make that face.
I'm trying to recruit. If you know anybody who would be interested, let me know.
Maybe I have a girlfriend who might be interested.
Ask her if she will be down.
Yeah.
If I would have had a love story, it would have been like, come on the show, find love.
Man, I learned so much in this experience.
I just wanna make you feel better.